Hello, my beautiful souls. My name is Nicole, and I am here to help you reconnect with your light. Today, I'd like to talk about the full moon and the energies that are taking place. The full moon in Virgo took place yesterday, and I wanted to wait some time before releasing this video because I wanted all of you out there to have an opportunity to sense the energies that are taking place. We don't realize how each and every one is actually extremely sensitive to the energies from the moon. Think about it this way. Think about the effect that the moon has on the tides of the ocean. We are more than 70% water, and to think that the moon doesn't have an impact on us would be a lie. So it's important to remember that the moon, and the full moon specifically, the different phases of the moon, are actually here to help us. They help us bring to light certain things that were not aware to us in our conscious mind, things that are in existence in our subconscious that need to come to light. So the full moon takes place, it's the end of an energetic cycle. We've been having, 2 weeks have passed since the new moon, in which we were probably taking the time to set some intentions and to visualize what goals we wanted to take place, what goals we wanted to manifest. And now 2 weeks later with the full moon is a chance to see the seeds that we planted coming into fruition. So I ask you to think about what you were thinking about around 2 weeks back, what kind of intentions you set for yourself during the last new moon. And I just want you to take some time to think about how you might have been feeling over the past week. Some of you may have had some trouble sleeping. You might have been feeling that you had a lot of different emotions coming up, a lot of things coming to light, things that you thought you had dealt with, which keep coming back. And this is the power of the full moon. The full moon is able to bring to light things that we were not aware of. At the end of the day, our journey is one of healing, is one of growth, is one of expansion. And the only way that we can heal and grow and expand is once we have awareness of some of the things that we are doing, is once we're able to shed light on some of the patterns that we have been following for many, many years, but that were in our subconscious realm. So the full moon helps to enlighten things that were in our subconscious and bring these into the forefront. They help us to see things that were no longer of use to us, that are holding us back more than helping us move forward. So, with the full moon taking place in the sign of Virgo, Virgo is in fact a sign of service. It is one of the most spiritual signs out there. And the reason why we might be feeling that a lot of things have been coming up, things that we might have been dealing with over some time and thought that we had dealt with, and suddenly we feel these thoughts and emotions creeping up again, coming back into our realm, and it makes us feel a little bit low. We start to question when will we ever get over this? When will we finally be at a place of healing? And so it's time to sit back and just question. Take some time to be a little bit introspective. Take some time to question what it is that you have been holding onto for so long that is no longer of service to you. Relationships that are inhibiting your growth rather than allowing you, should I say rather, to expand and to grow into the version of you that you are destined to be. Think about all the thought patterns, the habits, things that you have been doing that are of no use, things that have been holding you back, things that have been holding you in lower vibrational emotions, things that you have been doing out of fear rather than being able to take the steps to move forward towards the goals that you have set for yourself. So I've pulled some cards here to help us understand some of the energies that are taking place. But before I go on to the card reading, I just really like to emphasize the fact that this is a slow journey. It is a process. It is one that takes time, and it is continuous. The key is to persevere and to keep continuing at it, to keep believing in yourself, and to just keep showing up for yourself day in and day out. Another thing I'd like to bring to the forefront here, with the full moon taking place in the sign of Virgo, Virgo is the sign that dominates the 6th house in astrology. And the 6th house refers to everything to do with our habits, our daily habits, our health, our day-to-day life, how we show up in the world each and every day. So what this full moon is really bringing to light is, what habits do you have on a day-to-day basis? What sort of routine do you have on a day-to-day basis that is not of use to you? what things have been helping you, and what things have been holding you back. Awareness is the biggest step to healing, and I'll continue to repeat that, because simply having awareness of a situation that you previously did not have awareness of is going to help you to heal and to shift from point A to point B, bringing you all that much closer to reconnecting with your true divine self. So the first card that we have here today is emotions are running high. And yes, it's true. Our emotions have been running high for some time. Our emotions have been running high since January of last year, since the stellium that took place in the sign of Capricorn. And this is when we started to see the biggest shifts happening. And so what's happened with Corona taking place, what's happening on an energetic level is that we are shifting into a new way of thinking. For too long we had been on autopilot. For too long we had been living in a sense of complacency, living in our comfort zone. And in our comfort zone, while it's super comfortable and it's super safe and it's super warm, it doesn't exactly allow us to expand. It doesn't allow us to grow. It doesn't allow us to shed light on the areas of our life in which we can have improvement. Because if you're constantly doing the same thing day in and day out, how can you really take notice of the things that aren't serving you? Because you're in autopilot mode, it's hard to really realize what is of no use. So yes, our emotions are running high, and our emotions are running high because we have already shifted. We have shifted out of our autopilot mode and have shifted into a mode of creativity. So when I mean creativity is when we are in a state of confusion, when we are in a state of feeling like we can't really move forward, we're forced to become a little bit more creative. We're forced to start looking at our life and the life around us in a bit of a different way, starting to question, how can I work through these limitations whilst we're now living in a time that is difficult because we're not used to the time and the place in which we're living at this point? It is forcing us to see things and take decisions in a different way, because now we are being presented with a new set of limitations. We're being asked to find a new way of living within these new sets of limitations. So whilst it can be frustrating, the key is, rather than trying to go back to what we considered to be normal, is now to try and think about how you can create a new sense of normal for yourself, how you can create a new thriving mindset and thriving life within this new set of conditions in which we have been placed. The second card we have here is, you and your loved ones are safe. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is we're being given a chance here to connect with our loved ones in a different way. That our loved ones, by us having more time at home with our friends and our family, and maybe not so much with our friends because we may be confined within the four walls of our homes, but it's giving us more time to think about who is of importance, who is of value in our lives. It's forcing us to reconnect with our relationships and to reassess our relationships, starting to think which relationships are of value to us versus which of the ones are not. Which are the relationships that are bringing out our toxic sides, and which are the ones that are actually helping us to improve who we are. So the thing is, it's important to connect to your emotions. It's important to connect to the way that you are feeling, and to connect to your vulnerability, and to share these vulnerabilities with the people around you, with your loved ones, and to share these difficult moments with the people who you care for deeply, because it is in sharing that we find healing. When we share our experiences with others, they're enticed to share their own experiences. And when we share these different experiences, it gives us insights. It gives us ideas as to how we may approach our own situations and circumstances differently. And when we are surrounded by the love of our loved ones, it makes this journey all the more easier. So beautiful souls, I urge you to really think about the people who you care deeply about. Take the time to reach out to them and let them know that they are of value in your life. Let them know that you care for them deeply and that they are a big part of your own healing journey. Because when we show up for our loved ones, they show up for us. The next card we have here is prosperity lies ahead. And yes, we are simply shifting into the new version of us. And like I said previously, The full moon rather, brings to light things that we were not aware of. And so what specifically this full moon is bringing into light is all the little areas in which we still need to shed off baggage, the areas in which we still need to let go, because once we let go, it means that we are making space in our lives to welcome in the new, to welcome in things that are simply going to help us expand and grow, and to help us become the person that we keep visualizing, the person that we dream to be. In order for us to make our dreams a reality, we need to reflect that certain personality to be those things. We need to be a certain way in order for our dreams to become true, to become a reality. So the thing is, this full moon is bringing to light and showing you all the areas in which there are things you have still been holding on to that are of no use to you. The areas in which you need to let go of baggage because you are not allowing the new to come through to you, because you are still holding on to past versions of yourself, past things, past relationships, past beliefs, past thoughts, past thought patterns, past habits that are not allowing you to connect with the new version of you. So in order for prosperity to find you, you must let go of these things. And yes, change is hard, shift is hard, but the sooner that we realize that change is the only constant in this world, the sooner we will be able to realize that change is the only thing that will help us to expand. Embracing change as opposed to constantly trying to hold on to it is what will help us to thrive, is what will help us to connect to the prosperity that lies ahead of us. The next card we have here is Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. How beautiful this card is. This full moon, is inviting you to cross into new portals. It's asking you to open doors that you were fearful of opening previously. It is showing you that new doors are appearing to you, but only you have the power to walk through those doorways. Only you have the power to take a chance on yourself and to shift from one mindset, from one lifestyle, perspective, mindset, whatever you want to call it. Only you have the power to shift and to make your dreams a reality. Take the steps that you need to take in order to make those dreams reality. But the full moon is also giving you a chance to really think about where you want to be spending your energy, what things are actually of value to you, what things are actually going to allow you to grow, what things do you keep spending time and energy on which is not allowing you to grow and expand. So the full moon is asking you to really think about which doorways you want to open and which doorways you want to shut, leaving them in the past so you can move forward towards the new version of you. The next card we have here is Wait. It is not yet time. Things are being woven. We've been living in a world where we think that only that we can see is of importance, but there are so many things that go on in the invisible realm, in the spiritual realm. There are so many things that are happening all around us, but just because we cannot see them doesn't mean that they aren't happening. So the thing is to keep patient, keep waiting patiently until the information comes to you. And that information may come to you intuitively. We don't take enough time to listen to our gut instinct, and our gut instinct is never wrong. We doubt our gut instinct because we think that we need blaring messages that say, this is what you need to do. But the thing is, sometimes it's something so subtle, and we know deep within ourselves that that is the right thing to do, but somehow we are fearful because it's pushing us to do something that is outside of our comfort zone. And sometimes taking that leap of faith and doing something that is so uncomfortable is what is going to bring us the biggest rewards. But the time is not yet. The time is coming. The full moon is bringing these things to light. The full moon is bringing these things into your perspective. It is helping you to see where you have been holding on to things for too long. So beautiful souls, I urge you to think deeper. What things have been coming up? What kind of thoughts have been coming up? What kind of things have been keeping you up at night? What kind of things have been on your mind a lot this past week? Because these are the things that your soul is asking you to pay attention to. These are the things that the full moon are bringing into your conscious mind, so you may be aware that these are things that you need to work on. And these things might need to be just worked on energetically. And what I mean by that is simply starting to pay attention to the things, to your thought patterns, the continuous thoughts that come up, the things that you keep obsessing about perhaps that are not of much value to you. So I ask you to think about these things and maybe write them down. This helps quite a lot to start to give you an indication when you start looking back in the next 2 weeks when we have the next new moon about what kind of things were coming to light and what kind of things you need to be working on over the next 2 weeks as we approach the new moon, planting seeds of intentions of what we wish to manifest. The next card we have here is Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. And what that means is that this is a time where we really need to drop our shields. Stop holding on to things that are of no use to you. Stop allowing your fears, stop hiding behind your fears, shall I say. Stop hiding behind the same doors, being fearful of not opening new doors. Allow yourself to let go of all these things that you have been holding on to, all the labels that you thought were needed to hold on to because these are the things that you thought made you who you are. But now you're starting to probably realize that these were just labels, and these were labels that were probably placed upon you by other people, by things that were pushed upon you by either society, your conditioning, your parents, whatever it may be, or your peers, trying to fit in to be a certain way because we've been taught to believe that our uniqueness is not of importance, and that we all need to fit in and be more of the same person. But this is untrue, beautiful souls. And this is what the full moon is also bringing to light. It's helping you to understand who you truly are at the soul level. So I ask you to start to pay attention to what have you been holding on to, what shields, what walls have you built around you for fear of letting people see who you truly are at the soul level. Who have you been holding off from showing the world that you truly are? Why have you been holding on to these things? Because of fear, my beautiful souls. But the thing that you need to understand is the sooner you move past your fears and the sooner you become more comfortable with being the true version of you, the sooner all the people around you will embrace you and love you more for it. Because when you have the power and the courage to be you, you're giving others around you the courage and the power to be themselves. So beautiful souls, I urge you to question, what are these shields that you have been holding on to? Where have you not been allowing yourself to be more vulnerable with the people around you who are going to help you, build you up to become the version of you that you are destined to be? And the last card that we have here is Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. And this is exactly what I was talking about. What this full moon is bringing to light is that there is importance now of being more connected to our intuition, being more connected to our emotions. The first card we had here is emotions are running high. And the emotions are running high because we don't know how to process them, because all of these things are coming to light. But now we're being given an opportunity to process these. We're being given the choice of whether we want to move forward with this, being the same version of us, or whether we choose to move forward with new energy, moving forward, taking new actions, presenting ourselves with new habits, creating new habits in our day-to-day life that will help us to connect more with the true version of ourselves. Sorry for the noise. So the thing is to ask yourself, where have you been denying your emotions? Where have you not been allowing yourself to feel these emotions? Because when we stop ourselves from feeling these emotions, what happens is these emotions end up being blocked emotions. And these blocked emotions have a nasty way of catching up with us later down the line. If you go and look at one of my previous videos, I'll include a link to it down below in the description box about how to process your emotions. You'll understand that feeling our emotions is actually extremely powerful. People who just choose to ignore their emotions and try and push them to the forefront, or should I say rather, to the very bottom of their being, these things will catch up with you. There is power in dealing with our emotions. And when we deal with our emotions, the emotions that come to light are simply another form of healing, because they are an opportunity for us to shift from lower vibrational emotions into higher vibrational emotions. And what I mean by low and high vibrations is, well, lower vibrational energies, or emotions should I say, are anything that keeps us down. So fear, dread, depression, anxiety, versus higher vibrational emotions, which are love, joy, prosperity, abundance, gratitude, anything that makes you feel happy and elated and lifts your spirits up. So the question is to start to pay attention. You know deep inside of you what it is that you need to do. You know deep inside of you the things that are of no use to you. You know, beautiful souls, but you don't want to trust yourself, because society and the world that we live in, unfortunately, has made us doubt ourselves so much, pushing us to always look for things outside of us to bring us the answers that we need. But the answers are always so present within ourselves, but we doubt ourselves. We doubt ourselves more than we doubt anything else. But yet, beautiful souls, you know true well that you will always have your back. You will always have your back more than anybody around you. So the thing is to trust yourself more than anything, because the more you trust your own knowing, the more you will have the answers within, always knowing which steps to take moving forward. But the importance is to remember that only you know the true answers about what is best for you. You can, of course, speak to the people around you, the loved ones in your life, the friends and family who you know have your best interests at heart. And you can, of course, share what is going on with your life. And it is always helpful to have external information. But at the end of the day, the decision must be yours and yours alone. And the decision must empower you more than anything else. Because remember, if your cup is not full, how can you show up in the world to help others? Remember, this is an important time for self-love and self-care, and to put yourself first, to continuously question what it is that you need to make yourself feel better, in order to put yourself in a position to make it easier to take the steps that you need in order to embrace the new version of you, in order to embrace the life that has been a dream for too long, but it is yours for the taking. It is yours to create into your reality, but only you have the power, beautiful souls. So I hope that this message has brought you some clarity on what is taking place at this time. I hope that this message brings you some light and guidance. I ask that if you find that this message resonated, please like my video, please subscribe to the channel, and please share it with people within your circle who you feel will find this helpful and will help them guiding forward. I send you so much love and light, and I wish you a beautiful full moon.